This is a dollar. Some might not realize it, but by holding on to this dollar, it's losing value. This is due to inflation. But what causes inflation? To find a definition and for further explanation and examples, we went to Mr. Vogt of Pleasant Valley High School.
Inflation is caused actually by many things. The root cause of inflation is for there to exist an imbalance between aggregate expenditures and aggregate production. In other words, inflation is caused by too much money chasing too few goods. If consumers are spending too much money on very few goods and services, they're going to drive the price of those goods and services higher and higher and higher.
We couldn't understand it either. Until he introduced us to the circular flow diagram, of course.
The circular flow diagram is a model that shows the interchange between producers and consumers. It shows how consumers first begin by selling their productive resources at the resource market. In exchange for selling their resources, they receive money. They then use that money at the product market to buy goods and services. That completes the consumption half of the circular flow diagram. The production half of the circular flow diagram begins by producers purchasing productive resources. They then use those resources to construct finished goods and services. They then sell those finished goods and services at the product market where they're bought by consumers. The money that circulates through this system is the very same money time and time again. It's being used by both consumers and producers repeatedly on occasion.
Wait, if there's so much money in circulation, then what was James Oberstar talking about unemployment for?
Economic health, like creating jobs, real jobs in our economy. Nearly 1 million construction workers. Construction industry suffering the highest unemployment rate, 9.9%.
We started thinking, what exactly causes unemployment?
So unemployment as well actually has a lot of different contributing factors. The root cause of unemployment, again, is an imbalance in aggregate equilibrium. On this occasion, aggregate production exceeds aggregate expenditures.
Basically, total supply exceeds total demand. Should we be saving our money for a rainy day?
Well, unless you're putting your money into a savings account where you're going to earn at least 5 or 6% annually, the value of your money is actually declining day by day and week by week. You'd be better off spending it as opposed to saving. In fact, the real answer any time of year is to put your money into an account where you're going to earn a rate of interest greater than the current rate of inflation. If you want to save, you should save for just 6 months or less. Anything longer than that, you probably want to put your money into an investment account where it will at least keep pace with the rate of inflation.
But what about those who fear the stock market game? What should they do? What can all consumers do?
The only thing that consumers can do is bunker down, save their money, be very cautious, and protect in preparation for the worst.
That's it? I hate to seem like I'm overreacting, but is there something else we could do? We went to Chico State to talk to Professor Robert James. Maybe he could slow our racing hearts.
I think there's a lot of dilemma there. I definitely would like to see some policies to help out those people who are individually hurt to a large extent. To what extent the government should try to bail out financial institutions is really questionable, because any bailout is really just a redistribution of income and wealth, and I'm not sure whether those people with ownership in those financial institutions are really the ones in need of income and wealth transfers.
So is there any blame to put on someone? The government? Maybe civilians?
I think there's a lot of blame that can be put on particular individuals, because I look at the financial crisis today as resulting from financial deregulation across the board without consideration for possible future effects of that deregulation. That deregulation started during the Clinton administration, just accelerated during the Bush. As far as political parties, I don't think you can point a finger, but as far as a general economic philosophy in Washington, I think you can definitely point fingers.
Naturally, we panicked. But then we knew there was at least one more person that we could ask. Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
What are your plans to alleviate the effects of this economic recession?